What's the weirdest thing you have ever walked in on? My son trying to look at his butthole with a webcam. Concise yet illustrative, brief yet descriptive. I went to the wrong house party across the street from the one I was invited to. Everyone, 6-7 people, were super chill and included me. I had no idea I didn't belong. It was actually a lot more genuine than where I went after I figured it out. Walked into a classroom and found out that a 13-year-old had my staff photo as his desktop picture. Congrats on being the favorite teacher. For various reasons. When my kids were very young, 4 and 3 years old, I would bathe them together. One day I left the room for a minute, and on my way back I could hear cackling laughter coming from the bathroom. I sneak up to the door and see the 4-year-old on all fours, pointing his butt at the 3-year-old, who was behind him with his index finger extended, as if he was going to poke his brother right in the butthole. The 4-year-old said, "Go on, touch it." And as the 3-year-old moved his finger closer, the 4-year-old farted. They both cackled like mad. They didn't bathe together after that. I work in a hotel, and a guest asked for a coffee maker to be brought up as we didn't have them in every room. I knocked on the door a couple of times, as we're supposed to do, and didn't hear a response, so I cracked the door open a bit to see a stark naked man with one of those leather-looking dog masks. I just froze for what felt like 8 minutes and closed the door. I just left the coffee maker outside the room. Writing that last part reminded me of this, so I guess my reply is a bit of a 2-for-1 special. I walked into the employee bathroom, which do lock, so if the handle turns I assume it's free and clear, once, and walked in on a coworker completely naked, sitting on the toilet with all their clothes strewn about the bathroom floor. He and I haven't made eye contact in about a month and a half. This was way back when my siblings and I still lived with our parents. I once walked in on my sister, who had just gotten out of the shower. Everything was chill until the dildo she had just been using fell out of her vagina. She later told me she didn't have enough time to hide it. The only thing I could think to say was, "I'm scarred for life," and I ran out. This isn't how the videos I watch on the internet normally go. Not me, but a story from my ex. When I was working at a grocery store, my ex worked in produce, and we had a coworker that was really nice, but something just seemed off about him. Well, one night, my ex is walking back to their back room and this guy is just standing there, his back facing the wall and his pants were down around his ankles. My ex says, "Hey buddy, what are you doing?" And the guy completely freezes, then puts a watermelon down to the side. My ex notes the watermelon has a hole in it. He was ducking a watermelon. At least it's not a coconut. Was at a friend's place with around 6 to 7 of our other friends for New Year's and had to take a shit. Walked into the bathroom to discover my one friend fingering our other friend's mom. Proceeded to call him a mother ducker for the next 2 months. Only 2 months. He got off easy. That mom also got off. Probably my dad blow drying his pubes in the mirror. My mom absolutely lost it cracking up, and I can never get the image out of my brain, no matter how hard I try. But have ya tried it yourself? Dude, blow drying my balls and taint is my favorite post-shower activity. You don't need to be 60 to do it. Had just gotten to my ex-BF's home, was having tea with my grandma before. Opened the door, he was having a house party I didn't know about. People were wearing latex underwear, flaying each other and dicks hanging around. A couple was fucking violently on his bed. The husband of the girl who was having sex was watching. My ex-BF was drunk and crying in the bathroom. Very confusing. One night me and my roommate watched Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, and we specifically laughed at how funny the cock push-ups were. A few days later I walk into the dorm and his pants are down, and he's flat on his belly with his arms reaching forward Superman style. He gets startled and nervously yells, "Oh hey, what's up?" and pulls up his pants. Pretty sure he was attempting cock push-ups. Walked into a McDonald's bathroom while getting a coffee on my way to work last year. As I opened the door, this lady was just sitting on the toilet in the stall directly in front of the door, taking an absolutely violent shit while purposefully holding the stall door open, and she would not break eye contact until I left her line of sight. She finished up, washed her hands and left. I swear to God, This was not some foreigner that maybe doesn't understand basic customs or whatever. It was just some 35 to 50-year-old white lady in Canada. Maybe it was a power move, but like, if she wanted the MCD's bathroom, man, she can have it. My mom walked in on my friend and I playing with each other's boobs. Not in a sexual way. We were laying on our sides and noticed our boobs got all squished. So we stuck a hand in between each other's and made them clap. Mom walked in, saw us, and said okay then. I tried to explain and she put her hand up and said, I don't even want to know. Then she shut the door and walked out. It's all fine till you start playing with your homie's boobs/dicks. To intoxicated homeless folks, male and female, fucking underneath the tree on the college campus I work security at. It probably could have been narrated by David Attenborough for how raw and wild it was. Here we see the Lacus domesticus fornicating with its mate. As it consumes more alcohol, the passion becomes more intense and the duo become more ignorant of their surroundings. The lice simply add to the physical sensation. When I was a kid, we had a family reunion in Oklahoma for a few days. One night, I got tired of laying awake in my sleeping bag and went to find my cousins. They were crowded around a dead snake, as one of the older girls was mid-dissection. There was blood everywhere, considering they had just recently killed the snake and the muscles were still twitching. She told me she had done this a million times and was practicing for when she became a vet. I just went back inside. A vet or a serial killer? I have 8 siblings, so I've seen far too many things I wish I'd never seen. The first one that comes to mind is the time I went into the kitchen and my little brother was on all fours, wearing nothing but a pink belt around his midsection and a pair of my mother's shoes, face down in the cat's food dish, eating its food. How'd he turn out? Oh, he's perfectly fine, meow. Younger brother had a chapped butthole and my mom was powdering it for him. He was not a baby. How do you even get a chapped butthole? IDK. Aggressive wiping? Regardless, I still to this day knock on every closed door in a house before walking through. My friend sucked another one of my friend's dick for a couple of freezes. Not even the big ones. Walked in on a girl's father standing idly in front of the refrigerator in nothing but a pair of aged white briefs. I was 16 and not very socially experienced, particularly regarding dads in underwear, so I panicked and held up my hand to shield my own view and said something like, "Hey you bitch," and walked back into the garage. Her parents made me go home and I never went back to her house again. Was at a youth Bible study in the basement at my friend's house. The adults were having a Bible study upstairs. Went upstairs for a glass of water, heard chanting, walked into the living room to see 4 or 5 adults miming something like pulling a spear out of a kneeling person's back, whose forehead was dripping with oil. I tried to disappear, but my buddy's mom sat me down later and explained they had anointed their depressed friend with cedar oil and prayed over him, only to learn he had spiritual weapons inside him that Satan had placed there, so they all had to pull it out, which is when I walked in. The same Bible group used to walk around our high school in the middle of the night praying for God to awaken us all. I know this because this mom invited me to come along. Charismatic Christianity is wild. That's fucked. I walked in on my brother watching a chair fucking a microwave on TV. Turns out he was watching Scary Movie 5, which really is just as disturbing. Oh, I've watched Scary Movie 2. Yeah, let's just say my mom had to skip over some parts. They have tons of weird and unnecessarily long inappropriate scenes that start to slowly get unfunny the longer they go. At a party with a bunch of friends. Door to the living room is closed. Open door. Half of my friends in attendance are engaged in a wild orgy. Closed door. Host of the party walks by, looking really annoyed. I think he's going to put a halt to the proceedings, but he just opens the door and tosses a box of condoms into the room and closes the door again. Hey, safe sex is important. That host guy is a real hero. 2 people having 69 in the area on the highway where you stop to take rest and refresh. Homeless dude walked outside and I hop and just took a shit on their doorstep. What a power move. Got any similar stories? Leave it in the comments below.